Lovely to see the temple again full and without mask. I can see your face. That is nice. So, been 3.5 months away from here. It was a lovely time. So, you have anything to ask? Nobody have anything? Firstly, I want to wish you all a blessed and happy Ramanuja Jayanti. Sri Ramanujacharya, which is the founder of, not the founder, but the founder of Sri Sampradaya is Mahalakshmi, and who formalized the Sampradaya itself, and who have given the Mahamantra Om Namo Narayanaya. For why did he give Om Namo Narayanaya? Answer me. To free humanity. That's true. Because you see, before the mantra Om Namo Narayanaya was kept secret. Rahasya mantra, which means one of the mantra which have kept for centuries secret. So the Brahmin was saying that this is only for us. No? But Sri Ramanujacharya said, no. Why it have to be only for one person, one kind of people? No. He said, no, it is for everyone. Humanity have to come to the point of saving. So we chant the mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya, but we don't chant it because we want to be saved. We chant it to acquire something which is even more than saving. That is prem. That is a love of God. In the love of God, there is a fulfillment of everything into it. Very often, people ask the question, what will I get by loving Him? No? Because we're always in a relationship like, okay, you know, if you are in a relationship, there's always, what can I gain from that person? But that also, you can see, people also when they go, they think, what can I gain from having a relationship with God? What can I gain if I have faith in God? Yes or no? There is in the attitude, you know, in the mind attitude, we pray because we want something in return. But for us, those who have a deeper understanding, you know, those who really are calling themselves, when it is, for example, you call yourself devotee, but those who truly and sincerely call themselves a devotee, they don't go into that kind of business with God. They sincerely love Him for Himself. How long is life? How much, life today is here. You don't know next moment what happened. It can happen. Accident can happen. Anything can happen any moment. But have you achieved the aim of life itself? That is what you have to ask yourself. Why was I here? Why did God bring me on that path? Why did He really give me His name? For what reason? There must be a reason behind. If we try to formulate it with our mind, it's very complicated to understand. Because you know only this life itself. But life on the spiritual path doesn't just happen like that randomly. There is a deeper reason. And that deeper reason is when Bhagavan have see and feel that you have become that magnet. And He have given you His name so that you can firstly transform yourself. Without transforming yourself, you can't attain to Him. Have you transformed yourself? Not on the outside. I'm not telling, yes, some of you will say, yes, I become devotee. No, these are all fanciness of the outside. You are fancy, now you're putting a tilak on. You are fancy, you're dressed in a very fancy way. At least this is beautiful, it's colorful. But that is not what is the most important thing. That inner transformation must be there. That yearning and that longing must be there. One will say, yes, but I don't know Him. It's true. You don't know Him, but you have the certitude that, yes, He knows you. Somewhere, somehow, there is a certain feeling that even if I don't know Him, but yet He knows me. And He have, by His grace, given His name so that I may call Him. No? Calling to Him, there must be a certain relationship to Him. Imagine you're walking on the street. Let's say you're walking in India on the street, and then you call Raju. Maybe there is 100 of people will turn, because it's a common name, and everybody who have that name will turn and look at you. But who will recognize you? Is that person which knows you. That person, when he turned, said, yes. Because you have a certain affinity with that person. The same thing with Bhagavan. When you're chanting, you're creating that affinity, that recognition. So Sri Ramanujacharya have seen that this world need to be transformed. The mind need to be transformed. They said, no, we can't just let only one people. That transformation is for everybody. When Bhagavan Krishna gave the Bhagavad Gita, He gave it for everyone. He didn't give it to only one person. Those who truly understand it, they will be the one which will profit from that. Without deeper understanding of the Gita, you don't advance, you don't transform, you don't change. Only when you have a deeper understanding of that transformation, that change can happen. The same, when you're chanting, you're just chanting merely mechanically. Something is happening, some changes are happening. But when you have a deeper understanding of the mantra in itself, what is happening inside of you, then you will be completely absorbed into that. When I was in India now, we went to Barsana, to Radhakund actually. So Bhakti Marga wanted me to meet one sadhu. His name is Chaitan Baba. It's funny, very interesting. You see, very often when we see a sadhu in India, especially around Radhakund or Govardhan, there was one Krishna Das Babaji. We think that, these people are very... You look at them, you think they are so illiterate. So once we were sitting and talking with Krishna Das Babaji, he have 125 diploma in many fields. He was an engineer I can't remember in which field he was, but he was very prominent. He had his salary, he was earning very much. And yet, when he came to Govardhan, he came there, something have touched him. Something have transformed. No, it is said that there's a saying that said, you can go to a mental hospital, there is a chance you come out sane. But when you go to Vrindavan, you come out, there's no chance of coming back sane. You become completely insane. And such was that Krishna Das Babaji himself, who was, his heart was conquered. This time we met Chaitanya Das Babaji. It's the same. This sadhu, he's such, it's impossible even to say, his emanation, his love that he have. You see, he don't do anything, only chanting the name. So he do parikrama 3 times a day. And he served the other sadhu. That was his life. And you see, I tell you something, when you look at these sadhus and these saints, they have the most precious treasures, which people who have everything don't have. That bliss, that joy, is eternally radiating through their face. People say, yes, they are happy. Look in their eyes and tell, are you truly happy? You are so attached to your worry. You're so attached to your problem. You're so attached to your own misery that happiness have long time left you. It's far away. And by His grace, He's reminding you, there is still a chance. There is still a hope. As long as there is life into this body, there is still a hope. Even if it is just at the moment of passing, there is still a hope. That's what He sees inside of you. For Him to reveal His name. That's what you have to learn to look inside. But our mind is so in a tragic state, but it always learned to look on the outside. And we are looking even for happiness on the outside. We are looking at happiness in other people, which is already miserable. We expect that the person who have a bundle of misery will give you happiness. Impossible. Short-term happiness? Yes. But that is not happiness. That is not that blissful state. But sadly, it's that's what the world is longing for. That short-term happiness. Look at the treasure which you hold inside of you. Look at life itself, which God have given you. We forget, no? Often we go so much into the world, we are so much engaged with the outside world, but we forget the most important is life. When we realize that, when we don't have time anymore. Then we realize how important, how meaningful is life. There was once a very rich man. He was working, he had a very great business, he had millions. And often his Guru Maharaj would tell him, Babu, why you don't come to Satsang? At least time to time come to Satsang. He said, no, I don't have time for that. I have my business to look after. I have to care for my family. As if there's not enough food. Well, food is finishing right now, so great. So, One fine day, he was not well. He went to the doctor, and the doctor announced to him, "Sorry to tell you, sir, you have 4th stage of cancer." And the doctor said, "On that, we can't really help you." Similar to Dr. Ford was in South Africa, very renowned doctor. He was, you have heard the story of Dr. Ford often, you know, and he's a renowned plastic surgeon, actually, who at the beginning didn't believe in anything. And then his wife, which is a devotee, was to bring him, and he would sit at the back. So when he had cancer, last stage, doctor told him, "Go home. You will not live till December. You have only a few months. If you're lucky, you will see Christmas. Go home and die with your family." And then Bhagavan Srimad Narayana wanted to grace him. Luckily, he was cured. So similar to that, this man also, all of a sudden, he started to attend the Satsang. The Guru Maharaj, of course, knew something is wrong, because somebody would not just change like that. There must be something wrong. You know, that's what we call wrong. It's a calling card, actually. It's a visiting card. It's a reminder. So he said to him, Guru Maharaj was joking and said to him, "Babu, now you have time. What is the reason?" Then he started crying and said to his Guru Maharaj, "I have cancer, and the doctor have given me only some months to live. And they can't do anything." And I said, "Fine, you have that time now. Now you have time, concentrate on your spiritual path. Concentrate in knowing who you are. Why are you here? What is your aim of being here? And where is that aim leading you? But above all, build up, get to know who Bhagwan is. And build up that relationship. How can I attain him?" So that's what Sri Ramanujacharya reminded everyone. You know, it's that two last things. You know, get to know who he is, and how can I have a relationship with him. Raja Parikshit, in 7 days before he died, he listened to the Bhagavad for Sukadev Goswami. No? At the end, he attained the lotus feet of Srimad Narayana. And God have given you life. You know. We don't need to waste that time. That doesn't mean that you should stop your work, stop everything and say, "Yes, I want to dedicate myself only." No. From wherever you are, think and chant his name. That's why Ramanujacharya said, give that name to everybody. In anything, whatever they are doing, let them find God into that. I give Om Namo Narayanaya. So you can chant the divine name wherever, whatever you're doing. Because chanting of the name, there is no limit. There is no specific places. There's no specific ways. Of course, when you want to discipline yourself, then there is a certain ways, you know. But Otherwise, just chant Om Namo Narayanaya. So chanting make the mind absorbed and make the mind transform. I was explaining in India now. See, when you chant, there's one moment when you start to shine. That shine, he's patiently waiting for. The moment you shine, he will jump and rush to you. It's such a powerful magnet, but he can't even resist. And that's why the saint said, if you are so powerful, make me forget about. Surdas said to Lord Krishna, you say the whole world said that you are very powerful. You are the supreme Lord. No? You are the most mighty being. I will admit you are so powerful if you can take that love out of my heart. So you see, even Bhagwan accepts defeat when such yearning and longing of that bhaktas is there. And that is the aim of life, you know. You don't even know yourself, and yet you think you know the world. You think you know somebody else. And you think that somebody else knows you. That's why people find great security in others. But that security ends up in pain and misery. Sooner or later, it reaches to that point. How quickly one gets bored. When the drama have ended, boredness will be there. But imagine these saints who have let go of everything, but yet is absorbed in that name, yet they are not bored at all. When you see them continuously doing this repetitive, you will do one parikrama. You know, we saw that in Vrindavan itself now. 14 kilometers they did. They all were sick and full of blisters. And these Babas, they do that 3 times a day. And don't think that when they are walking, they are chit-chatting. No, they are not chit-chatting. They are continuously chanting the divine name. So ask yourself one question. For whom does God reveal himself? To them or to you, who don't have time? Only when you have short little bit of time to remember him, then you will remember him. To whom? No. Not to them, not to you. To the one who is sincere and have that loyalty inside of them. Like I said, you see, he waits for that shine to happen. And one can attain, for one's own sadhana to a certain level, yes, but that shine can also not happen. It can happen, but somebody which is just on the spiritual path beginning, from their previous karma, that can ignite. That's what he sees inside of you. That's why he brings some people on the spiritual path and some not. And when we were in India, we went to Pandharpur. It was so funny. I was asking Swami Prantapai and the others, it's so funny to see some people even in Banki Bihari or in Vrindavan itself, some people, that there's this explosion of love. Yeah? You can see the tears flowing through the eyes, you know. You can see that even the goosebump on their skin, you know, they feel, yeah, you know, there is something here I was looking for, you know. But there are some who just stand there, dry, and that don't touch. And that's what, you see, you have to remind yourself. That's what you have to ask yourself. What does he see inside of me what I don't see? He must see something inside of me. So let me see also. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you see a limited self, no? But when you look at through the mirror of your heart, you will see what he sees inside of you. Start to see that. Because life is not random. Life has not just happened like that. It's the most beautiful and most precious treasure that you have. And that life has been given to you for the service of him. Realize that. Recognize that. And let that happen for you. It's not only these saints, you know. He perceived all his creation as an emanation of him. You are also part of him. You also have that love inside of you. Look and see. Often people look, but yet they don't see. There's a big difference between looking and seeing. So, Jai Gurudev. Bye.